Hey, this is Steve from Flowmaster. Today I'm happy to introduce our new Delta Force cold air intake for the 2007 to 2008 GM truck and SUV equipped with a 4.8 liter, a 5.3, a 6.0, and the 6.2 liter. But please check our website for more details on the different makes and models of yours that this will fit. Now this Delta Force cold air intake has a washable, reusable high flow filter that already comes pre-oiled, a black powder coated heat shield, a durable polyethylene intake tube with a nice rib design and the Flowmaster logo right here in the center, reinforced silicone coupler, all stainless steel hardware, anodized fitting, and it's 100% direct bolt into the factory mounted location on the vehicle. This is also backed up by a lifetime limited warranty. Now, the tools for the job are a pair of pliers, 3/8 drive ratchet, 3/8 drive long extension, 3/8 drive 10mm socket, 7/16 wrench, 3/4 inch wrench, 5/16 nut driver, and a 5/32 Allen. All Flowmaster products are dyno tuned during the development phases for maximum power gains and efficiency. Now, I don't know about you, I'm ready to get this installed on that Silverado over there. Okay, we're in the shop. We got our 2008 Chevy Silverado 1500 here with a 5.3 liter. We're gonna get ready on the removal of the stock airbox. So let's get started. Okay, first we're gonna take the engine cover off. Next, we're gonna unclip the little holder that's holding the upper radiator hose to the intake tube. We're just gonna unclip it. We're gonna disconnect the sensor. We're gonna loosen up the clamp here on the sensor. We're gonna loosen the clamp here on the throttle body. We're gonna disconnect the breather hose down there on the valve cover. And then we'll take this whole intake tube and remove it. Once that's removed, then we're going to go ahead and lift this airbox out. Once the airbox is lifted out, underneath, we're going to remove the tray down below. That's going to be the factory mounting point for the new airbox. Okay, we're going to start off by removing the engine cover first. We're just going to pull up on it and just unsnap. Next, we're just going to push down on this upper radiator hose. It's got a little holder that's clipped into the intake tube. So we're just going to push down on it. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and unplug the sensor. Just squeeze down the tab. Next, we're going to go ahead and loosen up the clamp off the throttle body. Okay, next we're going to loosen up this clamp off the sensor. Okay, next we're going to disconnect the breather. It's this hard line of plastic right here, and it's got a little rubber hose down below. We're just going to just pull it off. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and pull the intake tube off the throttle body. You're going to have to lift up first and then pull. And then now we're going to go ahead and pull the hose off the sensor. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull the stock airbox off. We're just going to go pull straight up on it. Okay, that stock airbox off. We're going to go ahead and loosen up this clamp and remove the stock sensor, and we're going to reuse this on the new cold air intake. Okay, next, we're going to go ahead and remove the factory airbox tray. We're going to remove this bolt, this one, and this one. The stock tray is going to come out, and then we're going to go ahead and reuse these bolts, and that's what's going to bolt down the new Delta Force cold air intake box. Okay, we got our stock airbox assembly out of the vehicle now. We're ready to go ahead and assemble that new Delta Force cold air intake. Okay, we got our Delta Force cold air intake laid out on the table with our necessary tools. We're ready to go ahead and start off with the heat shield here first. And we're going to grab the air filter adapter, and we're going to put it on the inside of the heat shield. And then we're going to line up these 3 holes. And then we're going to take our Allen bolt. It's got a lock washer and a flat washer. And we're going to go ahead and start this. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put on one of the mounting brackets. We're going to start with this one here. This is going to go on the outside of the heat shield here, like so. We're going to go ahead and put the bolt through. And then on the back side, we're going to put a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Okay, now the orientation should be just straight down. Okay, and next bracket is this smaller one here. And this has got the slotted holes, and it's got just a regular size hole right here. The slotted holes are going to go on to the heat shield, and it's going to go on this corner edge right here. Now the slotted holes are going to allow for some adjustment. So we're going to go ahead and just snug this one up. We're going to leave it loose until we mount it into the vehicle. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put on the heat shield gasket. Now, this comes in excess length, so you may need to trim it to fit your heat shield. So we're going to go ahead and start here on this corner edge and then work our way all the way around to this bottom edge right here. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put on one of the reinforced silicone couplers. Now this one here, it's got a bigger diameter on one side, a smaller diameter on the other. The bigger diameter, we're going to go ahead and slide it onto the air filter adapter here. We're going to push this up against the heat shield. And we're going to go ahead and tighten this down. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and install the stock mass air sensor that came off the stock Airbox assembly. Now you got the arrow right here. The arrow needs to be pointing towards the throttle body, so it's actually going to be pointing away from the heat shield. So we're going to go ahead and slide this on. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set this aside. Now we're going to go on to the intake tube here and assemble some parts on there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and install the anodized fitting onto the intake tube. And want to make sure you put some Teflon tape on the threads. And we'll go ahead and screw this in. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and install the reinforced silicone couplers. The first one we're going to start off is this side here, next to the breather hose that's going to be attached. This reinforced silicone coupler has a smaller diameter on one side and a bigger diameter on the other. The bigger diameter is going to go on the intake tube, and the smaller diameter is going to go onto the mass air sensor. Now we're going to go ahead and just snug this up just to hold it in place. We're going to leave it loose so we can allow for some adjustment when we go and actually install it inside the vehicle. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and install the other reinforced silicone coupler. And this is going to go onto the intake tube. The other side is going to go onto the throttle body. Again, we're going to go ahead and just snug up the clamp only, just to hold it in place. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and put the heat shield into the vehicle and bolt it down to those factory mounting points. Okay, we're going to use that factory hardware that came off stock Airbox tray. Go ahead and bolt down the new heat shield. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and bolt down this bracket on this side. Now this one's loose and it has a slot in that bracket, so you're allowed to pull it out or in. So we need to basically find out where it needs to be so we can line up the hole correctly. Once we line up the hole correctly and we got the bolt in there, then we'll go ahead and tighten down that bracket. Now we can go ahead and tighten down that bracket to the heat shield. Next, we can go ahead and tighten down the bracket to the vehicle. Okay, go ahead and tighten down these two bolts now. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and put on the air intake tube. It's going to go over the radiator hose, but underneath the overflow coolant hose. So we're just going to slide it down. And then we'll go ahead and put it onto the sensor side. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and push on the intake tube onto the throttle body. I'm going to make sure the silicone coupler pressed up all the way against the stop right here on the throttle body. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten up the clamp. Okay, this clamp here on the intake tube should be loose, and then this clamp here should be loose too. This will basically allow for some adjustment. So you want to go ahead and adjust your intake tube. You may need to go up with it to clear the radiator hose. You may need to tilt it a little bit so you have a direct shot towards the breather hose. Now the reinforced silicone coupler should be almost right at the beginning of this ribbed edge right here. I'll go ahead and tighten up this one. Okay, on this end, the reinforced coupler should be at the edge of the rib design right here. We'll go ahead and push it in a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and tighten up this other one. Okay. And next, we're going to hook up the breather hose that's in the kit. You get a clamp and you get the hose here. We're going to go ahead and slide the hose on. On the anodized fitting side, we're going to go ahead and install the clamp that's in the kit onto the hose, and then we're going to push it on to the anodized fitting. And then we're going to go ahead and install the clamp. Just going to push it all the way on. Okay. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and plug in the sensor. Just going to push down till you hear it snap in. Next, we're going to go ahead and install the filter. Next, we're going to put the engine cover back on. It hinges in the back here, and then drops right down and snaps back on. Okay, that concludes our installation here in our Delta Force cold air intake for the 2007 through 2008 GM truck and SUVs equipped with a 4.8 liter, 5.3, 6.0, and the 6.2 liter. Installation time on this was roughly an hour. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.